Alrighty, folks. So here I am back with more news, as you might say. Uh, we did a test run. Okay. Check out that video. My thing. Check out that video. See what I got. I got a great distance. I did not go below 50 miles an hour. I kept it full throttle pretty much all the time, and did a great distance. Um, Very happy with the battery. Did a full one discharge. Unfortunately, the weather's been shitty in New York. It is ass cold, really cold in the morning, especially when I'm leaving at 5:30 in the morning. It's really windy and cold. I got no gear. And if I did have a gear, I wouldn't really want to go out in the weather like this to freeze my ass off. I remember once I went out for a couple minutes, like half an hour, 40 minutes, and I didn't take gloves with me, and my hands were frozen. I was like, at the intersection, it was like some Spanish dude pulled up on a traffic light, and he says, "Hey, yo," I says, "What's up?" He's showing me gloves. I'm like, "Oh no, don't worry about it, man. I'm right around the corner," which I wasn't, but it was kind of silly, and I felt uncomfortable to take somebody's gloves. So the wrench came out good. Painted the frame, side panels. Check out also that video. It came out gorgeous. I did end up putting a clear coat. I have not taken out the bike after I painted it, so I do not know um, what people think about it. Would I be getting any compliments, so on and so forth. Um, the I did the front surprise for you guys. It came out good. It didn't come out the way I planned it because the forks they damp. So I don't want to damage the tire when I'm riding. It will kind of like stop splashing, or stop splashing the water on my face if I put that piece lower. But it uh, it just it might be a problem, and I don't want to cause any issues or problems. Right now, I think it's 99% installed properly the way I want it. It's not the best quality. It could have been better quality, but I would have weighed much more. And I don't want to put extra stuff on the bike to make it weigh more. Um, Again, that video probably I will shoot tomorrow as a surprise. So make sure you stay tuned. You subscribe to this channel so you check that video out. What I did. I originally the plan for that plaque, Michael, was to cover the horn, the wires, and other things on the fork. So now you really can't see any mess, which is pretty cool. I I think I'm gonna grow into it. Right now, I'm kind of like looking at it and it's like, it's kind of awkward. I'm not sure if that's the way it's supposed to be installed. I'm not sure if that's the look that I'm looking for. I'm not sure if other people gonna like it. But at the end of the day, it's all about me and not them. So that's gonna be coming out pretty much tomorrow, I hope. What else? Haven't used the battery. Haven't ridden the bike. It's been over 2 weeks. A little disappointed because I have the battery. It was a great investment. It was a great buy. I don't regret anything. It was $1,020 or $1,080, something like that. Um, I just wish I could put it through more cycles. Getting crazy torque on the 19-inch tires on road. It's just extremely torquey bike. Gotta be very careful. Speeds at 50 miles an hour is very shaky. I can only imagine when somebody comes out from like a side street when you go in on the road and you gotta brake. There's two ways of doing this. You can panic or you can try to brake and stop on a dime where you need to. Which probably the first reaction will be to panic and slam on both of your brakes. Um, So that's not, it's kind of tough. I don't have a helmet. I don't have any gear on my chest, on my knees, on my elbows. So if I fall, knock it off the wood, it's not gonna be pleasant. So I gotta be extremely, extremely careful. And we can all say, you know, I'm gonna be extremely careful. I'm gonna try to this and that, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, you can't really predict what's gonna happen. So you just gotta be extra careful. Like gravel, sand, beach. You know, it's the bike is very unstable. I definitely guarantee you anything on the road and you're falling, you know, sideways and you're laying out the bike hasn't, I haven't weighed the bike. There's no additional weight that I'm putting on the bike. So I should weight it soon. I don't have a scale in the house, so kind of not gonna work. And I'm not sure how to weight it. There might be a trick that I might work with. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm not putting extra weight. What I have to install is that barbecue temperature sensor. I have to do it on both. I have to do it on the controller and I have to do it on the battery. So I'm gonna have pretty much these cables, these sensors coming out through the frame and going to, well, know what? I'm going to have to monitor inside the frame because when it rains, it just retarded. And I'm going to have the sensor with a Bluetooth on my phone. It kind of sucks because I mean I will be able to monitor it all the time. That's not a big deal. I just want to see how far or how high it's going to go and keep it at that. I know the motor gets, again, I cannot say warm, I cannot say hot, but it's right below hot. So um, under 100 degrees, but it's hot, you know. Um, so yeah, the temperature gotta definitely go. I might actually work on that tomorrow if it's not raining and do again. This is a magnet, so I'll put it upside down inside the frame, and I will keep it that way. I mean, I could keep it on the top of the frame, but then the wire is going to be extremely exposed. And I don't really want any additional wires coming to the front, to the top of the bike. I want the wires to, I'll definitely, what I'll do is I'll probably, yeah, I'll put it in a sleeve, and so you won't be able to tell. Just like, you know, the plastic sleeve protection that you put on the wires in the car or stereo wires and all that. I have some left. So I will use that. And again, I will put one under the bike and at the controller. And the other one is going to go to a battery. My biggest concern is the one that goes to a battery. It's going to be a pain in the ass because it's either I'm going to have to detach it every time I take out the battery, or I am going to have to carry it with the wire. Not sure. So that's in the plan. Uh, I mean, I could have taken out the bike. Ooh, I got so cold. I could have taken the bike today because I came early to my house, but it's just a pain in the ass to put the battery in, out, in, out, in, out, and I really don't want to do that too often. Um, I The plan was today's the 26th, which is the 27th, well, the 26th. 26th is every Saturday, but it was day after Thanksgiving. We are in 2001, and the original plan was to go take the bike for for the run to my work, but it was drizzling in the morning and it sucked. And there's no way I'm taking that bike on a wet road. So that did not work out. I wasn't happy, but I wasn't concerned or pissed, even though it was the plan to go out with the bike. So there was no go. Maybe if it's warm tomorrow. Okay, Google, what's the temperature for tomorrow?
Saturday in Staten Island, expect a high of 42 and a low of 32.
Ooh. Okay, go. What's the weather for what's the weather for tomorrow?
Saturday in Staten Island, it'll be sunny with a high of 42
Alright,
and a low
sunny.
of 32.
Alright, 32 is gonna be in the morning. It's gonna get cold. I gotta do something with the car, and then probably afternoon, like at 3 o'clock. I might be able to take it all the way down to the ferry and come back. Just to run that route as if I was going to work and take the ferry. I might. I don't know. I do have a phone holder, but it's out of silicone and it's not the greatest. It's not stable, anything like that. I might just end up buying a camera and putting it on my chest. So, if you guys could just comment down below and tell me if you want me to get a camera for my chest and run it that way. Um, I'm not wearing any helmet, so even if I had a microphone, it just might have been awkward. But I don't know. We'll see. Comment down below if you want me to get a camera for the chest, so I can do maybe not necessarily top speed, but I could squeeze it, do the top speed, and do the distance again, or take you out. I don't know if you guys want vlogs on a bike when I ride. I'm not sure what you guys want. I know you guys talk about, we want us to build, 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 like, the way you build a bike. But, the bike is finished. Now, right now, everything's cosmetic. I do want to get definitely front. Is it going to work right now with this? Oh, it is. So I want to get a front fender because it just puts out way too much water. In the back, doesn't do anything. But in the front, it just messes me up. And I don't want to make it look really corny. So I have to kind of like get a mud guard that actually makes sense and looks legit, you know. Oh, there you go. That's the bike right there. Um, so yeah, that's the goal. And see, I wanna kind of like also you guys see the TV. But anyway, so it's just you know finished build. There's nothing to finish. Um, there's really nothing to build, thank God. Not that I want to build no more, but right now I can pay attention to details like the temperature, the camera equipment, um, the basic gear for me, um, because I'm hoping that April I'm gonna start riding a bike pretty much every day to work and save ton ton of money. I mean, if I only had a calculator, I don't, but what is it? 100, what is it? 150 for tolls every month and 120, 400 for gas. You talk about $500, let's just say flat fee. $500 a month I want to save, which is crazy money, which is good money. So if I can keep the $500 in my pocket, that would be a great way of improving anything, whether it's the mud guards. Um, hopefully, I really right now do not need secondary battery because again, look at the video, see the mileage I get out of my battery right now, and with the rapid smart charger at 10 amps, the ferry takes about 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, I can probably pump up 10 miles on the battery. So that's not really a headache or a problem. I can definitely go sit down a place where I'll be able to plug in the bike for 30 minutes and do it that way. Even though right now with COVID, they don't let you sit down, so that's a problem, and there's no shit outside, so that's the second problem. And unless I was taking ferry back and forth twice, that would be about 45 minutes of charging. So it's a possibility I can gain 50% of the capacity of the battery in that short period of time. Um, but I so yeah, the build is finished. Right now it's just uh, a gear, protection gear, and video equipment if I really want to go that route that far. Since the build is finished, I'm I'm pretty much um, kind of like responsible for doing a test run, with you guys, just to show you how the bike rides. Uh, Maybe top speed if anybody cares. You know, Again, it's 50 miles an hour, and I guess that's about it. Just I gotta definitely put the kill switch for the summer. So God forbids I get a piss or something like that and walk away from a bike, 5, 10 feet. Nobody's gonna jump on a bike and take off. So the switch would be definitely nice, but I would have to cut the chargers. So there's a charger, and the charger comes out with the Anderson bracket or got bracket connector. So I would have to cut it in the middle, the positive, um, run the wire to the fuse. So again, it's negative in, negative out. I'm sorry, positive in, positive out, like a breaker, and then continue to the Anderson switch. So it is possible. I do have the soldering kit. I have the solder. I have the heat shrink. I have everything to do it the professional way, where it's not going to impact the performance of the bike. I do have the tinted wire that will hold up to 100 amps. Unfortunately, my controller is not 100 amps, which this battery BMS peaks at 100 amps, and I'm probably only pushing peak of 80 rather than 100, which is still a lot, and continues as 50. I honestly do wish that it was 100. I'm not sure if the battery would take a 100 amp discharge, so I'm not really sweating that. I'm not really going crazy about it. I When the battery degrades itself, it kind of sucks because it's kind of like um, a leaf battery, so it's a rectangle leaf. So they're not cheap to replace. Um, you don't know what kind they are. I mean, if you take the battery apart, probably you'll find out. And basic soldering, things like that, blah blah blah. Excuse me. I would just end up probably buying an additional one at, let's say, same price, and just have this one for replace. I don't know. I'm not gonna think that far. Whatever. I'm happy with the battery. If I have to worry about the BMS and change the BMS, I'd do 100 amp to a Bluetooth. Don't care. That's way up in the future in the cloud. But that's the thought. Once it goes, we'll go from there. I only have one discharge. Did a great mileage on it. Good distance on it. Very happy with the distance. And again, the video is down below. Well, not down below, but in my channel, so you can take a look. Um, uh, if like I say, I only got one full discharge. If in a year it goes from, let's say hypothetically, I was doing 100 miles in one year, I'm down all the way to 80. That's not really a good look. I'll be concerned because what's going to happen after 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. However, I did have the other 48 volt battery, 33 amps, and they were giving me a great distance. So, and it's been about 4 summers or so, or 3 summers. So great. And I rode on this bike about 1,000 miles on that 48 volt battery. Um, that speed was what was it, 20 whatever, 27 miles an hour, something like that, at a full charge. And then after 2 miles it would just come down to whatever, 25 miles or 20 miles, and will last only for 10 miles. And when I did parallel connection, it's it did last for 10 miles. So it wasn't a hardcore speed or anything like that, but it was still fun. I enjoyed it in the summer. Um, it kind of sucked, but I was able to get to places where I needed to. So but it didn't fit the right way. It was wobbling left or right and this and that, blah blah blah. It wasn't being permanently install the bike where everything was perfect, like it is right now. So, like I said, only what I'm missing is the kill switch, which I want to put it where it's difficult to find, where I'll be only able to find it and kill the bike when I need to and turn it back on. Because right now, with the control button, you put it on and you're good to go. Even though it prompts you to a password at the screen, somehow, somewhat, the bike still works without the password. So it defeats the purpose of having a password at a screen, because if you want to go to advanced settings, it won't let you through unless you use the password. That's for advanced settings. Like change your speed or your wheel size or your voltage, so on and so forth. Where here, it just what it does, it disables the display. It doesn't disable the bike, so it's retarded. So for the summer, for the season, since I'm gonna have the bike, and I'm not, completely going to always sit on a bike. I gotta put it next to me when I sit on a bench and all that. I can't really walk away from it. I would have to lock it up and the chain, weights and all kinds of shit. I can get the um, handle grip from the bike lock that you would have a motorcycle, so it goes over your bike handle, brake handle portion, and it squeezes, so it activates the brakes and then it locks it, so the brakes are always activated, they're always on. So you would put that on for your rear brake wheel, so nobody can. I mean, you could lift it, but how far can you lift it? And you cannot take off with a bike. So if you were to, let's say, oh, let me go chill and lay down maybe 2 feet away from my bike or 10 feet away from my bike. If you apply that lock on your brakes, nobody's going to be able to move the bike. You can't pedal it. You would have to lift it. And it's a 200, probably whatever, 150 pound or 200 pound bike. You're not going to be able to carry it too far. You won't be able to pedal it because the brake is activated. So that's the easiest way to lock the bike so nobody takes it, and that's my go-to. But the final situation that I want to be in is where I have the kill switch. That would be the best thing ever. So that's the goal. Um, I will adjust the goal probably much later in the season and go from there. You know, anything than that, I think we have open doors. Right now, it's just time to enjoy the bike, you might say. Eventually, I'll change the controller to 100 amps. Basic control, not Saboteur, nothing like that. I have to reprogram, do this, and that, because it defeats the point. I'm not pushing 100 amps. I wish I was pushing 250 amps. But again, getting a battery for 250 amp, it's I don't know how hard it is, and I guarantee you that motor in the back will not take it. I would have to buy 8,000 watt motor that peaks at 16,000 or 18 or 20,000 watts, because this motor right now, it gets hot as it is, and I'm only pushing or putting 5,000 watts into it. Like I said, I witnessed at 84 volts. I'm looking at in the speedometer. I saw my watts. I saw it a couple of times at 7,000 watts. So it's a lot, since the motor only holds 5,000. So that's why it's hot. And riding the bike for an hour and 38 minutes, because that's how long it took me to deplete the bike at 50 miles an hour, pretty much almost without stopping, maybe stopping for 2-3 minutes once every cycle or every circle that I did, which is not a lot, not long enough for the bike to cool off. The battery was warm, so that means the battery is working. That's why I need that sensor for the battery and sensor for the controller. I know the controller doesn't get too hot. I mean, if it does, it does, but it still works. So one sensor for the controller, which I'm gonna do tomorrow. One sensor for the battery, which probably I'll do it tomorrow somehow, somewhat. Just do it where I can plug it in and call it a day, and keep it with the battery. That would be the easiest way, rather than plugging everything in when I put the battery in. But then if I do it that way, would I be able to keep it on a bike? So only one cable that has to go outside is the cable to the battery. So that that sense I won't be able to carry on, but I'm not taking off the controller, so that one sensor can stay inside a bike. So that'll be the one to plug in. The other one, I'll keep it with the battery. Might kind of sucks because when you put the battery, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So we'll see. But for now, the sensor that is going to go for battery is going to stay with the battery. And the sensor that's going to go for the controller is going to stay outside the bike for the controller, but it's going to loop inside uh, towards the battery. So I have that. I've noticed that I don't need voltmeter because the voltmeter on a screen is extremely accurate. I sometimes I do the percentage, sometimes I do the voltage. Lots of times well, that day I actually did voltage and percentage, and I've noticed that it turns off. It slows down tremendously to say 25 miles an hour or 20 miles an hour at 68 volts for whatever reason, and that leaves 15% of the battery, which is mighty low. So I was told that the battery shuts down at 60. So if I can do, let's say, additional 10 miles at 20 miles an hour, that's pretty cool. I can, I mean, going up the hill would be pain in the ass, almost physically impossible. But that's when you can, pedal. So if you were in like extreme depletion of the battery and you were kind of like far away from your house or far enough to pedal and close enough to use the battery with pedaling, it's fine. I mean, let's say, like I'm away in Brooklyn and my battery is already depleted. Yeah, I can't go all the way to the entire Staten Island